Well, after a slow start in map number 1, they show up big time here on Inferno and bring themselves back from the brink. And Heroic have been able to tie up the series now, 1-1, taking us into a map number 3. It's going to go to Overpass to decide who will be able to claim this series and move into the grand finals. Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the DreamHack ASTRO Open live from Atlanta. We are just about ready to start map number 3, and it tends to be a good one here. As well, the first 2 maps are rather one-sided. This one should be very, very even.
Definitely, Overpass is the last map in this best of 3. We're going to find out who goes to the final. If it's going to be the Danes and one Swede from Heroic, or the mixed nationality team from HellRaisers. They're of course going to be going up the winner of Envious versus Renegade, which is going to be played later on today, just after this one. But first up, we got Overpass, and I'm really looking forward to this because this could go all the way. I think this could go all 30 rounds. Both teams are very, very good on this map, HellRaisers especially, but Heroic, they're also, like, as we saw them in the last map, coming back, as you said, a slow start. The players that they need to step up, stepped up. Yugi stepped up. S-Attack, the problem in map 1, stepped up. And of course, Nico with the 4-man clutch.
Yeah, and unfortunately, most of HellRaisers' roster stepping down big time in map number 2. We saw a big drop-off from a lot of their big performers in map number 1, and really only saw a couple, clutch performances here and there. They were never really able to bring it back to the potency that we saw back over on Mirage, so unfortunately, they dropped map number 2 relatively quickly, and we never really saw that comeback potential that we had seen in Mirage after, in the same fashion that Heroic got off to that great start over Mirage. They were up 9-1, then it was the guys from HellRaisers that were able to round the comeback there and then eventually take control 16-12. We never really saw that, unfortunately, over on Inferno, and it was really Heroic controlling the situation for a majority of the map.
So now, the knife round is going underway right now off stream, of course, to decide who starts where. And I'm looking to this guy in the picture right now, Nico, to step up. I think he's going to be, for me, the difference maker here in Overpass. Who do you got as your difference maker?
I think Nico is the correct pick there. When you look at the things that he did back on Inferno specifically, he had that massive 1v4 clutch that kept their massive streak going in the first half and was able to push that forward. And he was a very consistent fighting force even going into the second half too. S-Attack is another one that we definitely need to make sure stays consistent here, because the lack of his performance in map number 1 really tended to hurt the Heroic roster and unfortunately put them down by quite a bit. But him coming back into the show and controlling basically one area of the map for the entire portion of that map was a pretty big help for them. So if he can do something like that again over here on Overpass, whether it be in Connector or over towards A-Long or something like that, depending on where he wants to play towards, then that's definitely going to be able to keep Heroic consistent and could allow them to just easily take map number 3 as well.
Now we do have the team huddle from HellRaisers here, initiated. And here we go, talking about, of course, how they're going to break Heroic here on Overpass. Strats are going to throw out. Specifically talking about the pistol round right now, that's what you do. Of course, motivation. A little bit of a speech coming in from Angel and Jonta, the 2 leaders of the team, and then talking specifically about, okay, what are we going to do in the pistol round, what are we going to do in the first buy round, and how's the default looking from there. And that's the only kind of talk they can have with the whole team now until they take a timeout. Well, coaches can talk all the time, but you don't want to interfere and interrupt the players when they're in the middle of a round or when they're thinking about something else. So Jonta, of course, giving all the feedback and all the information you can right now.
Yeah, pistols have been kind of all over the place. There's not really been a whole lot of consistency with either of these teams and their capability to win out their pistol rounds. So really, the start of this map could go either way. But I don't think that the start of the map is really going to define who will be able to take the lead throughout the majority of it. As we've seen multiple times now, we saw HellRaisers start off well with a pistol victory and then followed it up with a few rounds afterwards back over on Inferno. But then they lost 8 straight, I think, before they were able to win another one after that. And similarly, back on Mirage, well, it was Heroic that ran 8 or 9 straight with only 1 round in between there being claimed by the HellRaisers roster, and then all of a sudden HellRaisers ran, I think, like 9 or 10 rounds straight before there was a trade from Heroic. So
momentum definitely an important factor in this matchup. Just shows you how close these 2 teams are when they can just, if that's the only difference maker between them is how momentum swings and how things are going confidence-wise. But of course, as we reiterated many times now, these 2 are very, very talented teams, and the players on these teams, as you said, like HellRaisers, as they said themselves, they were preparing for a major. They didn't make it, but in my opinion, could probably have been in that major if things had gone a bit differently at the qualifier. So we have some really high-level teams, Heroic as well, as they, of course, failed to qualify for the minor as well. But in my eyes and in many other eyes, especially after Isolon Cologne, where they beat VP, is a team that can go far as well and should probably be at a major as well. So these 2 teams, very strong individually, very strong teams, and now going into map 3. For the DreamHack ASTRO Open Atlanta 2017.
Yeah, I'm hoping that prep really helped HellRaisers out, as I am a big fan of this team, and I would hope that would have been enough to allow them to be able to push through this series. But Heroic is definitely a tough opponent and not one to be underestimated. But as you can see now, folks, it is time to jump into map number 3. It's time to find our first grand finalist here at the DreamHack Astro Open Atlanta. Will it be HellRaisers or Heroic? After a dominant map 2, going to be able to keep it that way on Overpass. Let's find out in the pistol with HellRaisers starting off on the defense and Heroic starting out on the T side. And Dead Fox is going to get right into the action. Aggressively played from him, but the problem is he couldn't get that initial kill, so he was left out in the open. It's Estetag that grabs the first kill of the game.
Talking about a Catalyst player right now, Nico has been equipped with the Deagle. 2 flashbangs and Snappy, and the rest of the team's on armor. What difference can he make here? Nico with a Desert Eagle in hand. Actually, not a bad buy here in the pistol round due to the fact that it does a lot of damage with the body shots. You're not specifically going for the headshots, but 2 body shots just remove someone, and he does get the first one on the back of damage done by the Glocks of Yugi. Marty picking up another one with the USPS, and now Zero, he has to pick up a frag here or hold the position.
Yeah, just 2 players left alive here now for HR. Zero and Sticko, both trying to get as much intel as they can so they can somehow attempt to clutch out this 2v5. But Zero, he's been found downstairs, not having any luck with his headshots here, so probably getting a little bit frustrated with the situation he's currently in. There we go, there's the correction though, as he does move in and finally knocks out Madi. The rest of Heroic are being very quiet moving up to the site though, and just like that, Sticko is going to be down on the ground, not even given a chance to respond to his surprise push. Came up from Heroic there.
And Snappy still have the 2 flashbangs because he hasn't really needed them going into the bomb site. So if they hear where Zero's at, they're just going to flash him out and push him. But it's not even going to be a problem because Estetag is in this position. 6 HP though. Might be able to catch it, but no. Zero on a 2K. But as I said, Snappy with the flashbangs, they can easily take him out.
Zero going to attempt to move in and see if he can clutch this one out here now as he's swinging up. Does not have a kit, and I'm not sure if there's one anywhere close onto the site. I'm not sure if his teammate was also left alive had one, but it's going to be irrelevant anyway. Snappy just knocks him out of the round there and knocks Heroic into the lead as they take control of the pistol and are going to start off 1-0.
Yeah, those 2 flashbangs not even being used there, so they're going to be saved into this next coming round for Heroic. We're currently looking at a 2 AK buy, and of course the Mac Daddy of Modi coming in to farm some cash. As HellRaisers, as per usual, on a pistol armor buy.
It's all spread out for Heroic here. On the opening round as their players are going to move across the map. But for HR, also doing a very similar thing. They're trying to get a little bit aggressive here, but that's exactly what Heroic is doing to counter this right now. Heroic just holding back, playing it very passively so that these aggressive positions don't catch anyone on Heroic by surprise in the early round. And then after some delay, of course, Heroic are going to be able to move up the field a little bit more, get that easy map control. Specifically, the key areas here for them to take are going to be towards A long because there's no resistance at all from HR in there. As Tech try to go for like connector control, one is going to be a little bit dangerous, but Nico distracts up on top, and then as Tech shoots in from the bottom. Perfectly played. Really good team play coming out from Heroic there to minimize the deaths. However, Angel does push in through the doorway, sneaks out 1 kill, going to get multiple. His teammates trying to help out from the backside as well, but nope. He's going to end up going down the Snappy, and Sticko's up next here.
Snappy trying with the AK. Max head coming in from Modi, and surely this will be the end of the round as Snappy takes out Sticko 2-0. The pistol force buy doesn't really work out for HellRaisers. Don't get much out of it apart from 1 kill. And they'll be on a complete eco as they all sit around the 2K mark. So not really a lot of extra cash to invest into pistols. Probably all going to run with a USPS this time around.
Yeah, 0 investment besides Angel's flashbang there. So HellRaisers just taking the minimalist buy. They're going to let Heroic get the 3rd round basically and see if they can maybe stack together and get a kill or 2 here, but probably not expecting them to win the round. That would be very unlikely if they were able to do that, considering how much investment Heroic does have into this round. And HellRaisers, well, they were going to try to jump into the action pretty quickly. All their players stacked up at the edge of A long. Probably going to be pushing in a second. And Angel's pretty close now to the players that have taken control of connector there. And in a moment, they're going to swing up, but they spotted that toss out of a flashbang. So now, well, Yugi's going to be tested here in a second. He did get dinked, but he's able to hold the line. A nice triple kill from him. And Bondic down the last man standing. Can't get anything done. No kills, unfortunately, for HR that time. And Heroic keep it consistent. All 5 staying alive, and they get to build up their money nice and easily.
Let's have a look at what the buy for HellRaisers brings them. I can foresee not a lot of utility coming in as they only had around that 2K mark, so they're probably going to be missing the Molotovs and smokes on some of the players. We do see that. Sticko actually going for the UMP-45 full utility here. And Zero with the same as he goes for the FAMAS. And only 1 kit. This could prove to be a problem later on in the round. If, let's say, Sticko gets taken out on the B bomb side and the remaining part of the team has to rotate towards A, and that's because that's where the hit is probably going to go. could be a problem.
Mollies and like HE grenades are actually very important to have on this map just because of how easily you can cut off pushes and retake sites with it. So it's not too surprising to see them decide to buy down a little bit here in order to get those added into the arsenal just because of how much more useful those grenades tend to be on this map compared to others. For Heroic here now, after some delay, it is looking like they're going to start to move through connector a little bit more. Have not really started to push in and take a whole lot of map control yet. Obviously, they do have the initial area leading up to short A in the bathrooms, but they haven't actually pushed in to start moving for control of those areas just yet, mainly because, well, the CTs have a pretty well-established presence in here, and they have to try and scout that out and figure out exactly where they're positioned from. Now they move in, and so far 2-for-1 trade in the favor of the CTs, but aSTAG picks up the second kill for himself. And with that, brings it back down into an even 3v3.
Angel here in a good position. Flashes over and just holds the corner. He has to get away because they know exactly where he is. And now can rotate between these two different angles. And his aim, long range with the M4 A1S, is insane. Body shots to Marty, taking him out. And now aSTAG and Yugi, 2v3.
We'll get it done. aSTAG already taking a lot of damage, and he's going to have to be very careful when he moves into this site. His HellRaisers are set up quite well. Yugi gets baited there by the player over at Semi. And with that, Angel and Steeko are able to pick up the final 2 kills to take control of the initial gun run, bringing it up to 3-1. But as we said before, Heroic had a very clean rounds 2 and 3, so they have plenty of money to buy back into this next round.
Yeah, we're going to see the AWP come out as well. And we're going to see the highlight clips of Angel on that long range with the M4. Very nice aim. And now Yugi on the AWP. No AWP on the CT side. Still have the FAMAS on 0. Steeko has exchanged his UMP-45 for an AK. Let's see where they want to go. Once again, slow setup. As a rogue usually do on this map, just want to hang back for the first 20, 30 seconds and then wait and see what the HellRaisers want to do if they want to throw something at them. When that part of the round is over with, slowly move out, take control over short, take control over the connector, and then execute from there.
Well, still Heroic looking for initial map control here as they do spread their players out. Snappy's finally going to get that, taking down Bondic. A bit more work to do though. However, with that kill, they actually have a pretty clean path, at least they did, leading up to the A bomb set. HellRaisers has actually got pretty aggressive here. They have quite a few guys trying to push out now towards short A and take control there.
Let's see. Angel edging in ever closer, finding one, but Snappy will find the headshot. Steeko answering back. Molotov's the bomb. Have control over the bomb now. Let's see if Nico can open up. No, Dead Fox shutting him down. That's a very effective shutdown here towards short because they know where the bomb is. aSTAG coming back into it, burning a bit. Nice spray from Steeko. He's holding this one flank. And now it's all on Yugi.
Yugi alone here, but certainly not an impossible clutch to win out. However, he only has 20 seconds to make it happen. He's got to check very quickly, and
he has
falling
to run
back.
Now.
Is he
full speed?
The real question here is if he's going to be able to complete that in time. He's got 5 seconds to make it over to the site here. Still have appropriate enough time to plan. Making it in, and Steeko almost cut him back off there. He's got to plan it, and no, I don't think he has enough time. I think he went too far. Let's see. He gets it onto the ground, actually, just in the nick of time. Oh, now they're going to find him. Yugi, this is going to get really fun here now. Yugi lines up one as he plays into it. Now he's going to spin back around as he saw the bullets from the other side, but didn't lock into the position correctly. Perfect flashbang to buy him additional time here to wait out for Steeko. Pushing up to it, he's going to line up the kill. So there you go. Another clutch from the side of Heroic, this time from Yugi, as he pulls off a massive 1v2, keeping Heroic in control of the map.
That was so nice because, of course, you're hyping up the play, and then we switch to the camera of Yugi, and he's just ice cold. Doesn't flinch a single muscle in his face. And yeah, this is every day for me. Every day I just plant a bomb with 0 seconds to go and win a 1v2, no worries. Insane play.
Done from Yugi. Didn't even look like he was going to get the planet time. I mean,
that was insane. Like, that was literally with milliseconds to go.
He'd have that thing planned out as well because he was well over the position where he could have planted the bomb for, an extra second or two there. But he wanted to go all the way inside of the smoke to make sure he could complete the plan, and it worked out well. So,
and he did put the Molotov down to make sure that the CT couldn't rotate into the back of him. So very nice play. Perfect 1v2 from Yugi there. Now, of course, HellRaisers forced into a pistol round. Not a very strong economy on that CT side. Molotov dropping it towards the side, but Angel is still alive, but not for long.
Raining fire over on the bomb site, but unfortunately not raining trade kills, as Heroic is pretty much dominating this with no responses at all from the side of HR. That's going to remain that case. Heroic win it. 5 men alive, so they will be able to continue to stack up their money and build their economy as they now lead 5-1.
Once again, a good start coming out of Heroic. They just need to push on, make sure
what happened in the first map doesn't reiterate itself, because back then they had a 9-1 start and ended up throwing it away. This time around, HellRaisers with scrappy buy, 2 UMP-45s, and missing a bit of a utility on Bondic and Dead Fox as well, but Dead Fox going for an aggressive peek here.
The other thing you have to worry about for HR2 is going to be just getting drained at this point as well, because now they played 2 maps straight. They're going to be put into a position where they may be making some like more silly mistakes just because they've been playing for so long as well. Some players will get drained out if you're playing for that long, especially in an environment that isn't like their home or whatnot.
See him, Marty. Usually does entry fragging. See if he can get something done. Yugi waiting on the other side of the smoke. Double stack towards his position. If Marty goes in, it's still going to be the CT, even though they're double stacked towards Monster. They're stacking 3 players on that B bomb side right now. So rotate onto A. Could be a possibility. Let's see.
Already smoke came in on Monster, so they continue to bide their time a little bit here.
No smokes left. Only 1 Molo with 47 seconds to go.
Heroic are ready to move back in as soon as that smoke's faded away. They've got their own smokes deploying into the bomb site. And look at this body walking in. He gets the kill onto 0, but Stiko saves himself. Problem is, now he's completely isolated here. But the good news is that Molly is going to delay the push even further. And then the follow-up flashbang's great too. He has more teammates rotating back down, but still S-Tag makes it in. And when push comes to shove, Stiko cannot hold it off. It's all going to come down to Dead Fox. His teammates on the way, but he's still another few seconds back. With that trade, though, he brings it into a 2v2. Just misses that kill as he's been aim punched so heavily. But Bondic arrives just in the nick of time. Dead Fox missing another flick. That's going to be the trade from Yugi. And he's got another clutch setup in front of him. This time, it's a little bit easier, though, in a 1v1. But still, Bondic not going to be completely knocked out of this one either. He's going to try to make the push inside, but Yugi spots it coming, so he completes the clutch again. And Heroic win yet another round, 6-1 in the lead now.
Clutch master on that A-bomb side. Yugi just absolutely wrecking the hopes and dreams of HellRaisers, going up 6-1. And technically, was a 2v1, but of course, the time between his teammate dying and him getting that frag is not really a lot, and therefore a 1v1 in the end, which he does win very nicely. HellRaisers once again, pistol round, Deagles is all they have. Now surely Heroic gonna go up 7-1 here. This is on the T side of Overpass. Very nice stuff.
Yeah, not showing any signs of slowing this down either. Early on, I can see the nades this time as they don't want to have to deal with that monster stack that punished them so heavily in the last round.
Let's see, Stiko making his way out with a teammate as well. They're calling all this information. There's no one going towards B. Maybe connected, but that's all. Oh, look at that.
They've got Monty waiting for this, though. Monty's going to punish these guys very heavily. There's one. Nice clean headshot against 0. And he's still trying to check. Yeah. Stiko might be able to counter him, though. Let's see. Does he check the full left side? And there we go. Monty taking full control of the situation. Yugi even picked up a kill closer towards middle as well. And eliminating Stiko. So only Dead Fox and Bondic remain. Yeah. Dead Fox already hit pretty heavily, down to about 1/3 of his HP.
It's such a common thing as well when you have these Deagle buys coming in on the CT side that you push 2 and 2. So that's why he's almost expecting there to be a second player there. Nice game sense from him coming out. Snappy surely to pick these both up, and he does. 7-1. Heroic once again with a commanding lead to start off map 3.
HellRaisers are going to be buying back into this next round, but of course, same situation as before where they really need to bring this back here. Really need to start winning out these rounds. This is going to get out of control very quickly with already 7 rounds in their favor. Potentially the capability to win at least, 2 or 3 more, even if HellRaisers start coming back right now. That's going to get very dangerous to allow the T side to pick up that many rounds on what is otherwise a CT-sided map.
Dead Fox forgot to buy the rest of his nades. Or maybe just saved in for the eventual situation that he's going to have to buy an AWP in the next round. But I'm kind of curious. He has $900 to spare. He could easily have grabbed the Molotov as well. And I think that one Molotov could have made a big difference because there's no Molotovs on the CT side right now.
I think he just chose to save it because now he can buy a little bit more liberally in the next like half buy round and whatnot, and not have to worry about saving that extra bit of money for the op going into the gun round. It helps him out a little bit there.
That's of course a choice you have to make. What do you want to go for? And so far, map control has been given to Heroic. They have the bomb site down. At 0 close range, not going to be spotted. Takes 1-for-1 trade though. 2 coming in.
2 for him. Just giving these like their easy kills inside of the pit all of a sudden. So this is actually not great positioning for Heroic. This is a very winnable retake for HellRaisers now, especially with the man advantage. So they actually have full site control with these smokes moving back in, and Yugi's going to get pushed back. They're trying to boost up on top of the sandbags, but Stiko sees that one coming from a mile away. Takes an S-Attack as well. Just Yugi left alive. They should already know where he is, back over here towards Monster, and he realizes there's no way this is recoverable. So he is going to fall back. His teammates will defuse the bomb with plenty of time to spare. And finally, another round will go up onto the board for HR.
Great round coming in there, and as you said, they kind of disregarded the water position there, and that's a bit of a problem coming into for the terrace there, because as you see, Zero is just able to get 2 frags for free completely. I mean, first guy doesn't even spot.
For whatever reason, they don't hear him, like due to the environment, or they just don't. They just don't remember to check pit for some reason, and Zero just single-handedly spins that round back. Yeah. As if he hadn't been there, then Heroic would have had full control of the site, and that would have looked way different. But with those 2 players going down, that immediately, gave away site control and allowed for HellRaisers to just smoke off the other angles and make it impossible for the remaining 2 to 3 players to do anything about that.
Of course, since the money is good on the Heroic side, I'm gonna go for the full buy up here. AWP on Yugi. Deadfox still in his AWP on CT side, so an interesting round coming in here. This could swing HellRaisers straight back into hell, pretty much, if they lose it. Heroic on the other side, in a position now where they have to fear the fact that last time around this happened, that HellRaisers got 1 round back. They just got demolished afterwards. So that has to be in the back of their minds right now.
And Heroic are going to continue to shape up, get ready for a push over towards the B-bomb site. HellRaisers themselves, they've got Stiko and Angel ready to defend on the outside towards water, but also Zero within the site. He's the one that changed it up in the last round. He's going to give himself away a little bit earlier this time, though. And now attempt to hold things back a little bit. Stiko actually caught completely off guard by S-Attack back over in the connector there, so he loses himself for free. Now Angel's going to try to help back out, but the same thing. Snappy just walks right up, not accounting for the fact that a water push could work its way in there. Now it's on Zero again. He's picked up 1 kill. Smoke's dropping him out quite a lot. It's limiting the area where Heroic can actually spot him. Nico trades at a kill into Deadfox. Zero again, forced to be the hero, but he's finally going to run out of steam as Monty takes him down, and S-Attack completes the round with a kill onto Bondik.
AWP saved as well. Nico grabbed that and made sure he can throw it over to Yugi at the beginning of this next round. And as I was talking about, HellRaisers go straight back to hell because this buy is not going to be good. They're going to go for it nonetheless, but it's not going to be a good buy at all. They're going to be missing utility. The players who are not missing utility are going to be missing weaponry. And on the other side of things, Heroic, they're on a full buy. Everything they want is at their disposal.
This is a desperation buy for HR here, as they know they need to pick up more rounds than what they've gotten so far here, and they can't afford to continue losing them. All right, 8-2 with the potential 9-10-2 scoreline about to come in here if they lose this round. With their economy in the position it was, they were going to be looking at multiple saves anyway, I think, so this might justify why they might have gone for the full-on force. Snappy going to start the push back up. They need to be careful checking into connector there. There's quite a big presence from the CT side. S-Attack already finding 1, and oof. Bondik unfortunately finding himself in a bad spot, as does Deadfox. Both of them go down. Finally, there's a trade from the CT side as Stiko finds 1. It's S-Attack, but it's a very small kill in the grand scheme of things, as now Heroic have been able to walk all the way up to the bomb site. It's completely open for them. And as far as Stiko and Zero are concerned, they're falling back to save now as they have no chance to pull off a 2v4 retake.
Good decision here. Don't want to throw what you have away. HellRaisers is definitely limited by their economy right now, but also limited by the fact that down 2-9, and it seems hard for them to find kind of like the chink in the armor for Heroic to find out how to penetrate this T side and how to defend against it. Because like Bondik, usually one of the greater players on this team, is sitting on 2 frags. Yeah. That's a pretty insane scenario. He's usually one of the ones who are up there in the top of the scoreboard, getting a lot of stuff done. And Marty coming in here, bringing the Wrath. 1 frag.
Nice shot from Marty out of the player way back in T-spawn, and now it's just Stiko. He should definitely survive this, though, so he's going to be able to take it in with the AK. The problem is now, as you saw the money for this moment there on the right side, that's really the only thing that they're going to be able to have going into this round, reliably speaking, unless they go for some crazy force. There is a pause called from the guys on the HellRaisers, so they are going to take a moment to figure out what's going wrong. This is happening very late in the half, though. This is the same kind of definitive point that things turned around for them on Mirage, or 1 round later. But they have to pull off the same thing here and try and bring this back to around 9-6.
I have 2 minutes now to discuss this and find out a game plan for at least the rest of the first half, but also what's gonna go down in the second half as well, because there are a couple of problems that are pretty obvious in the team, and that's gonna translate to the other side of the map as well. It's not just on the CT side. That's gonna be a problem. Heroic right now can be very happy with how they've done so far. Not just 2 scoreline, of course, speaks its own clear language, but the way that they got into that scoreline is very impressive as well. Definitely Yugi has to be one of the highlights of this map so far with the 2 clutches back to back.
Yeah, so once again, just under a minute left here for HellRaisers to continue deliberation and figure out how exactly to fix these problems they've been dealing with. It's a lot of, I mean, there's a whole load of problems if we're being completely honest here. They've overextended in certain situations where it really hasn't been necessary, losing initial gunfights a lot of time. I mean, the B-bomb set, unfortunately, besides Zero, like anyone else that's been on that site has just died within seconds of an execute starting from Heroic. That's part of the big problem there. Is just their capability to win 1v1s has been pretty poor in this map. It's almost always been going in Heroic's direction.
All right, here we go. The buy is going to come in. As a match will resume in just a bit, but it's going to be a force buy this time around for HellRaisers. We're going to see, of course, the UMP-45 and Stico, Zero with the AK-47, and the rest of the team on armor and pistols. Not a lot of utility behind it as well. It's going to be interesting because I don't think this is going to be the round where they turn it back, to be honest. Heroic have looked so good even against full buys from HellRaisers, so I don't think this half buy here is going to do much of a difference.
I mean, it's not even a half buy, it's a force.
Yeah.
It's another desperation one at that. They did the same thing last round.
It's not good.
So they're really pushing it here. HellRaisers are not looking good, and if this doesn't change up soon, then the second half might not even really be a factor here. Heroic should be able to just walk right over it. So HellRaisers at least have a little bit of utility and whatnot to play with here, but things like the Molly are going to give away that they did indeed invest here. And Heroic can now adjust their playstyle to account for that. Madi trying to push back in. It's a little bit awkward, of course, with the smoke hitting him in the face, but works out okay. He gets that first kill. There is a trade from Angel as it knocks out Estetag further back in that push. But regardless, they're continuing their conquest forward to try and take control of this B-bomb site. And Angel's going to try to put himself forward. Zero gone, though. These other players need to step up. They need to come in with better fragging power. They can't just go down immediately in these pushes. Otherwise, Heroic's going to take too good of control. And pushing in, well, there goes Angel. Stico really not able to find much, unfortunately. There hasn't been many opportunities for him to frag back out, and when it is, he fails at it. But Yugi knocks him out. Snappy takes down Bondic, too. All that's left alive is Dead Fox now, and he's going to CZ to try and clutch out a 1v4.
And such a hard position, especially for Stico, as we followed him for the most part of that round. He's locked down behind a couple of smokes. He can't really go in, and his team just keeps on dying in individual 1v1s, and it's heartbreaking to be in that kind of situation because you're ready there, you're ready to go in for the retake, and you just can't find an opening. And if that opening cannot be found, it's very hard to initiate the retake and then get it done over the next couple of seconds. And once again, HellRaisers lose this round. Going to be forced into pretty much only pistols. And that will allow Heroic to get on 11 with the possibility of going all the way to 13.
Well, here's the thing, they forced these last 2 rounds, and it really just seemed like a waste of time, to be completely honest here. As they were both pretty pitiful buys, to be honest, and never really got anywhere with it. They didn't get a huge amount of kills, didn't bring down the economy at all for Heroic, and now they're going to end up saving anyway. So, not a great start to this round either. Angel is getting taken down by Yugi right with the op, right within the first, like, 15 seconds of the round. Dead Fox is going to take up the position of his dead teammate, see if he can impact. All of them trying to be aggressive here, but again, same thing, Nico. That delete key right up on top of Dead Fox. Finally, a trade does move in from Bondic, but it's a small gesture considering the progress that Heroic have already made.
Let's see. Heroic now rotating back towards that B-bomb side as Marty's clearing it and calling the information. I haven't seen anyone just yet. They haven't used utility to hold me out, so there's probably no one on this bomb side, and that call is completely correct. All the CTs have rotated away from B.
So they're going to waltz over into this site. Take it for free, and there's really no way for HellRaisers to bargain that they can actually pull off a retake here. So their best bet, if they make any effort at all here, is going to be to just line up at the exits and see if they can get a few kills there. If not, well, Heroic again walking over the round in relatively easy fashion, and they're going to take it 11-2.
They do pick up Snappy's dropped AK, so that's at least something Bondic can take into the next round. Stico and Zero should probably go and see if they can deny some weapons, maybe even pick up a secondary AK. But Bondic definitely has to stay back now.
Heroic are working together as a group, though, to make sure this doesn't happen. Even if one gets dropped, it's unlikely that he'd be able to actually move in and pick up the gun. Stico's caught, just rolling into the site, so he's going to be knocked up by Estetag. And Zero, well, he dies to the bomb explosion.
Oh, well.
And Bonding's pretty far away from all this action, of course, as he already found the AK there. So he's going to be the one that carries it through, and he'll be one of the few players that actually has, you know, not only a full economy, but also extra money going into this round, too. Everyone else in his team is going to end up buying out completely. They'll all get decent utility and whatnot, but Dead Fox is going to end up a little bit lighter, of course, than the rest as he goes for the op.
Look at the money on the heroic side. They don't have to worry about money at any point for the rest of the half. We're looking at 13K on 2 players. 14K almost for Nico. This is absolutely insane. Yugi has died 2 times. And he's gotten 12 frags.
So basically, he's RPK in that first match the other day.
Also a tank.
Yeah. And Yugi's really come into form here in this best of 3. We've been seeing some great stuff from him on all 3 maps. And he really leads the charge for his team here on this 3rd and final map, where it's a bit unfortunate, but it doesn't seem like Heroic have been putting up the best fight here, as they kind of have lost their way and have only been able to put 2 rounds together so far in this half. Another gun run is, of course, another opportunity to change their luck, but even if they bring back these last 2 rounds at 11-4, that's still a crushing half, considering the Heroic are moving into this one on T side. If Heroic even get 1 more round here, HellRaisers are going to be in a completely decimated position going on to their T side, and if they don't win the pistol, it might as well already be GG at that point.
Yeah, this has been an insane demonstration of power from Heroic and how well they are at playing this map. Push is coming in, double flash coming in. There's nothing Bonding can do in that situation. And with Dead Fox missing that shot, to be honest, the round has to be over unless Angel pulls out something crazy here. There's nothing they can do, but he goes for the first one, turns his back, Snappy catches him. Did not know that Snappy was pushing into that position as well. Now, 4v2 retake is not going to happen. There should be no way, and HellRaisers knows this. They're going to save their weapons here. On the back of the fact that Bonding can't buy himself, they can get a 3-weapon buy going, but we've seen like 2 or 3 rounds so far where HellRaisers go for this, not even half buy, but kind of like forced up buy with 2 or 3 weapons and limited utility. They're not going to get anything out of it anyway.
Nope. So HellRaisers again forced out of the action. A couple small mistakes lead to them losing complete control over the bomb site in very quick fashion, as has been the tale for almost this entire half so far. Stiko, of course, and Zero looking to hold on, so maybe they can find a few kills there, but I mean, these kills aren't really going to mean anything even if they get them and are able to keep both the weapons alive. As Heroic have infinite money, they can easily rebuy going into that final round. Stiko going to be a little bit careful with this smoke. Big challenge beyond it, but he does manage to save it, so they at least have that little silver lining at the end of the round.
It will be a full buy this time around from HellRaisers. Dead Fox and the boys will be able to drop for each other, and almost full utility as well. So it's not as terrible. They're missing a couple of flashes and maybe a couple of Molotovs, but that's the only bad thing about this buy. Famas and Bonding is pretty much a choice. He could probably have gone for an M4 as well, but then missed a bunch of the utility. But this is their last chance to get something out of this CT side. They have an okay setup. They have to get something out of this. But of course, 12-3 and 13-2 is still bad scorelines for the CTs. Marty coming in. Nice from Stiko.
Stiko going to be able to get a 3rd kill as well, as now he takes down Nico. So finally, the overconfidence from Heroic bites back at them, as it's brought down to just Yugi and Snappy now for them to turn around a 2v4. Stiko, the hero here with this massive play back outside of Monster. Zero attempted to do the same thing. He failed at it. But at the very least, Stiko showed up with consistency. And that may be the one thing that kept HellRaisers in this half, as they will be able to pick up a 3rd round potentially. Round's not over yet, though. Yugi is still alive, and that's dangerous.
TT coming in the back. He'll be caught off by Snappy. We're very aware of the possibility that someone could rotate in from behind them. Nice shot by Yugi. Now it's a 2v2. This is still doable. Stiko, though, the hero of the round, not going to make it happen. Now all on Dead Fox.
This is going to completely kill HellRaisers if they lose this round. Dead Fox has to clutch this. He spotted the head, I think, of one of the players. There are 40 seconds left, but oh, Dead Fox, is he going to go divert towards heaven, or is he going all the way upstairs?
He has to go for heaven. There's no way.
Yeah, I was worried he got a little bit faked out there by seeing that player fall back and thinking that they were going to rotate, but now obviously he knows for sure. But in heaven, misses the flick there, didn't spot the player peeking out, and the flashbang hit him head on. They know he's up in heaven now.
They're just going to hold back. There's no reason for them to push him now until they hear him tap the bomb.
Smart plays from Heroic. For Dead Fox, he goes hunting, hoping he can get lucky and find 1 or 2 players peeking out into the open, but neither of them will be out. So tagging onto the bomb to try to get them to peek him, and he may be able to get that. There's the first flick, but the second player, perfect timing on the re-peek there to be able to secure a 13th round to close out the half. It is a dominant stance from Heroic, and for HellRaisers, they have really just one opportunity here. If they lose the pistol starting off in the second half, they're done.
Yeah.
This is one shot, one opportunity. Mom spaghetti.
Well, Sneeko had that good play at the very least, but I mean, the fact that it got turned into a 2v4 and they still lost it has to be so crushing for HellRaisers now.
And also the fact there's no way that the Heroic are going to lose that 2v1 when the bomb is down. There's just no way, especially when they go refragging when they're here inside the bomb. 13-2. If the pistol round goes Heroic's way, as you said, this is pretty much over. HellRaisers have to muster every last single bit of energy they have to bring out the best plays. Nice to see that there's still smiles on their faces. Angel not smiling, of course.
Yeah, indeed. So
John Tyson neither.
Just gonna stand in the back there, wonder what they're doing.
Yeah.
What's happening here, guy?
This is not how we usually play, guys.
Yeah.
What is this? But yep, pretty insane half coming in from Heroic. Here in map 3, I thought it was gonna go all the way. So far, it's not looking likely.
No, it's actually a bit disappointing. Unfortunately, I thought HellRaisers was gonna put up a much better fight on this map, but kind of seems like.
Interesting plays coming out of Heroic here, going for the full push towards mid, leaving B completely open.
So that's going to bite back a little bit here, as HellRaisers are able to push into the B bomb site and pretty much take it freely. They'll have full control there and be able to go easily onto the plant. Now, though, it's the full-on 5v5 retake, and Heroic have a lot of angles to work off of, though, so this is a dangerous retake, as this could still absolutely happen, despite the fact that it isn't even 5v5. Nice shots from Dead Fox, though, picking up the first kill, and the second one. Monty and Attack both going down. Snappy, along with a few others, still trying to work their way back in from CT in heaven, but Zero had been boosted up on top there, so he holds the aggressive position. Finally, a kill moves out from Yugi, but it doesn't last long. Zero trades it back, and now Yugi's alone, and he's not going to last long either. Bondic knocks him out, and at the very least, we see the pistol one from HellRaisers. They've got their ticket back into the match. But this could easily slip away at any moment.
The dream is still alive for HellRaisers here, and it's all started with this from Dead Fox. That's a very nice duel coming in 1v2. There should be no chance of him winning that, but he somehow makes it work. 4 UMP 45s, not a full pistol force up from Heroic. They want to make sure they have full utility for that first buy round. So they're actually not buying a lot into this. I actually really like that choice. Making sure when they get the first buy round, they're going to have full utility.
Angel and a few of the others from HR deploying pretty quick utility here over to the B bomb site to try and take that control again. Snappy looking to resist it himself, and Estetag's also further back, but Monty finding one, almost getting a second there too, doing some good damage over to Angel. Estetag still trying to remain quiet by Toxic, but they know he's here. He's going to get jumped up upon, doing the return damage, but that also gives him away, so Angel's going to complete that kill. Looking for another, but Snappy. Good response at range. Unfortunately, it doesn't last very long. Zero does trade him out. So this is about a 3v2. Nico trying to be sneaky, but I do believe they have players watching for him over towards Monster.
Two Deagles here technically could save them unless they get an opening and bring them into the next round, because the next round is going to be all pistols. Unless Nico gets his frag right now. It does though, so now it's open!
And there's the second one as well from Nico. Just Stiko left alive, and he's pushed way back. So this is actually pretty tough for Stiko at this point, as he's also going up against two Deagles, and he's at range. Flashbang is going to go in, it'll bounce off. It won't connect on either player though, but he's wasted a lot of time at the very least. Here's the defuse, tries to move in, gets close to that first goal, it doesn't complete it, tries to stop the defuse, he's forced to switch over. It is a full 10-second defuse, and Nico, he's gotten that kill. Now can they get the defuse in time, as they brought it very close, and yes, Heroic will complete the second round conversion. And with that, we go 14-3. And that's going to completely destroy everything HellRaisers could have built up at the beginning of this half.
What a round from Nico there, coming in with the Deagle. Had the one kill in the back, whiffed the first couple of bullets, but then completed, and then comes this one. That's beautiful. And defuse in the smoke, 10-second full defuse. Very nice stuff. Heroic now 14-3, and HellRaisers is not a lot they can do. They're of course forcing once again, trying to get everything that they can into this round, but 4 Tech 9s and armor and a little bit of utility is not going to be enough, I think.
What's even worse is the first gun to go down is their AK.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Oh, Snappy, okay.
A
little bit of a mistake from him. He threw away that UMP just a tad early, so I guess the slight bait setup works out okay. As Bondic's now going to be able to pick up the AK to work with, of course. Still more work to be done, though. That one kill's not going to be enough to propel HR forward into trying to bounce back into this match. Monty now ready for the push to move in. He sprays it a little bit early though, so he's going to give himself away and force himself back further into the pit. Dead Fox and a few of the others ready to push up on top, but Heroic have a lot of defense. Everybody rotating in very quickly, and they're losing that control. Angel, with 1 kill, gives them the bargaining power that they need to, at the very least, push up and get the plant going. And now the time starts to tick against Heroic's favor, but Yugi, nicely done, snipes at range, picks up 1 player. Bondit goes down, gets second from Yugi, and another one as well from Nico to close it out. It's Heroic that are going to continue to push forward. They go up to 15. It's map and series point to propel them forward into the grand finals.
Heroic, so close to making their way into a grand final. Yeah, it's been quite a while since they made their way into a grand final. I actually remember the first tournament they were ever at, Powerland back in Denmark last year, in August. Made it to the final and actually won it. Beat both Astralis and the team that became North afterwards in that tournament, and now they're back to their winning ways here in Atlanta.
Indeed they are. It seems unlikely for HellRaisers to round 8 now what is going to have to be a 12-round streak at this point, especially with the bye that they have here in the 19th round. Scout for Dead Fox, Deagle and Tech9 for Bondic, along with a UMP on 0. 1 single AK sits on Angel, but that's all they have. Utility's actually all right. That's probably one of the few things they still have going for them is utility. A lot of Molotovs, a lot of smokes. So they can definitely still work towards a take here, but the weapons are lacking big time, and that is going to hurt them in the long run.
Angel and his team 3 rounds to 15. Not a lot they can do in this situation. Just very patient play coming out from both teams right now. No one wants to give an inch.
Heroic's going to continue. Wait for this push to come back in. Nico spawning back and forth between the bathrooms, and Long 8 catches that first kill against Nico. 1 goes down. Yugi looking for the second and potentially third, but he does get traded up by Angel. So there's that AK doing a little bit of work. And yeah, now they're going to be able to push up to the site. Nico stuck behind Semi. Can't really do anything. Esatec actually got one with a nade, though, but also Nico goes down to Bondic. HellRaisers is making some progress here, getting up to the site. More damage being done with an HE grenade against Monty, but Monty sneaking off 1 kill. Unfortunately, he's caught jumping by 0. So he completes another trade, looking for an additional pickup, but he goes down to Esatec, and now a 2v1 to decide the series. It's Dead Fox trying to clutch it out, but he only has a clock to play with, and that's not going to do it. Esatec takes him down, and that's going to give it over to Heroic, ladies and gentlemen. A dominant stance in map number 3 as they take it 16-3 and win the series 2-1.
What a great victory for the Danes here, coming all the way from Scandinavia, beating the European counterparts. HellRaisers taken out, 2-1 victory in the end, and Heroic the winners of this game. And it seems like it's a lot to be said about Danish success here in Atlanta. Of course, if you follow the NFL, you'll know the legendary Morten Andersen coming from Denmark, played for Atlanta Falcons. Now Heroic in the final here at Atlanta. It's gonna be a good one.
There you go. Of course, the expected results based on what our analysts were talking about as well there, but definitely going to a map number 3 definitely surprised some of our folks in the way that HellRaisers were able to actually take control over map number 1 over on Mirage. There, we saw a great performance from them. Unfortunately, none of that really carried over into maps number 2 and 3, and especially on map 3, HellRaisers kind of really lost their way and just weren't able to put up the fight that we were seeing back on maps like Mirage there. So at the end of the day, Heroic did take solid control and were able to take the series 2-1. Now they're going to go up against either the Renegades or Envious, and that's to be decided in our next match as well.
All right, with that being said, we're going to throw it over to the stage where Smix is ready with one of the winners.
Thank you very much, Risk. Congratulations, Snappy. You reached top 4 at Austin and Valencia, and finally, for the first time this year, Heroic is in the grand finals. Especially as the in-game leader, this must be a really proud moment for you.
Yeah, it's a relief because we've been to the semifinal like 4 times this year, and we haven't won any yet. So this is the first win we have. So it's a relief going to the final, finally.
Well, out of the 3 maps, Mirage definitely felt like the closest. The team started up 9-1, and the half actually ended 9-6. So what do you think went wrong in that half and that map overall?
I think as CT, we did great, but we also won a lot of close rounds, so we never got like a big bang build on CT. 9-6 was a fine result. We had a really good situation where we was 4-2 on B. But we lost that, and if we win that, we break their money. So I think that's why we lose Mirage. If we win that, it probably goes our way. But we kept calm, and we took the 2 last maps, so that's great.
Madi spoke in an interview earlier at this event, and he mentioned that he felt like Heroic is not so great at best of 3s. Personally, for yourself, why do you feel like that has been the case, and what do you think was different this time that you were able to win?
I mean, after Inferno got into the map pool, our map pool got a lot better because we didn't play those 2 on cash before, so we were handicapped every time we had to play a BO3. But I think we can play 6 maps now. I mean, some are better than others, but we can play and be competitive on 6 maps. So I actually think BO3 is fine for us, but we just lost a lot of close third maps. So, but finally we win.
Well, now in the grand finals, you're facing either Envious or Renegades. Now, Envy is a team you already beat in the group stage, so would you prefer to face them and beat them again, or would you rather face the Renegades, who you've never played yet?
I don't really care, to be honest. It doesn't matter for me. I think both of them are good teams, so it doesn't matter who we face.
Well, congratulations again, Snappy, and best of luck. And with that, Heroic will be moving on to the grand finals here in Atlanta.
Indeed, Heroic are our first grand finalists. They relatively made that look comfortable, but they did let one map slip away, and that was Mirage. Let's delve a little bit deeper into Mirage, Vendetta.
Yeah, no, I actually think it's pretty nice when you know, the the players from the team do the analysis for you. Honestly, you know, it's very true. They get off to a 9-1 start, and then money goes against them as they continue on. So ending up at 9-6 at like. It's a good result for a half, but given how he started, you'd probably want him to get more out of it. But the really big round was that 2v4 retake that HellRaisers had on the B-bomb site. Again, he said it's in a situation where they can reset HellRaisers completely. You get a grip on the game. You probably go up to 14 rounds. You have a bit of a cushion where you actually allow yourself to potentially lose a round, still either do an eco or potentially force up. But the world's your oyster at that point. Instead, it goes the opposite way. They lose a round that they definitely shouldn't have lost in any sort of scenario. And lose the map because of it. I also think, just from a strategic standpoint, their T-side on Mirage did leave something to desire. I think they was very focused on that B apartments area, and I mean, it got to the point where HellRaisers felt freely enough to the point where they could push aggressively on A quite often and get map control. In that sense, or actually find a lot of information without being punished for it, which again makes your job a whole lot tougher as a T-side.
In terms of standout players for both sides, really, but particularly Heroic, a lot of the players all hitting their shots. Who are the standout players for you, Eric?
I think Nico had a really good series. Yeah. His family's here, and he's been just like lights out. So I think, and Hughie, I think he's just like he can open up the map as well, but I think he's so good in after plans. Like just the way he plays, he's so patient. He's never making mistakes. I think he's just like, I don't know, he's always just, and here we have some highlights of him.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, no, he was a really solid contributor throughout, all 3 maps really, even though they didn't end up winning Mirage. And I'm really happy to see that wall bang he did on Inferno, because we see so many teams, especially when they start adapting to the fact that you're doing a lot of apps-heavy executes towards A. We see more and more teams actually opting to stack the side to kind of combat that. And the guy who's playing in that corner always seems to be surviving forever and eventually saving the rounds for the CTs. But it's good to see him deal with it, and that was I think it was a 1v3 situation, that Overpass clip, that he ended up, again, bouncing back for Heroic, because, it wasn't only Mirage that had a couple of clutch situations and then necessarily go Heroic's way or HellRaisers' way, but I felt like on Overpass, everything that could have gone Heroic's way did.
Is that the case then, what happened? Because we were saying how on Mirage, they let that slip, right? So mentally that must have been quite a challenge.
Yeah, it can be.
How important
daunting.
and crucial is it that they, or how good is it for them that they came back and bounced back?
No, it's obviously a very good sign for 2 reasons. First off, because they usually have lost best of 3s in semifinals. They've been in this scenario so many times and never actually found success. So that in itself is obviously going to help going into the finals. But I think on average, when you lose a map like Mirage in the fashion they did, they still know that they have 2 solid maps coming up for themselves. So I don't necessarily think they're stressing out too much about it. That's why you can see also players, being able to step up in those close scenarios where you have a 1v2 or 1v3 and so on and so on.
Yeah, so Heroic go through to the grand final, but we have to say goodbye to HellRaisers. They came into this relatively talking about how comfortable they were feeling about this and how it wasn't that much of a big deal. What learnings can they take, Eric, from this? Did they go into this a little bit too nonchalantly, or what happened here for them?
Well, I think what happened on, just to talk about Overpass a little bit more, I think Heroic deals with their second rounds a lot better than HellRaisers. On Heroic, if they lose the first round pistol, their Opera doesn't buy, and a lot of their other players don't completely force into the round, so their first gun round is a lot more impactful with utility and having their op out. and HellRaisers seemed to just completely force into it. And so on their first gun round, they had an ump and a FOMS on your first gun round on Overpass, and that's just not going to be good. And I think the economy played a big part on Overpass. I mean, they only won one round, then they got reset. They have to save twice. They win one round to get reset. So, I mean, the economy, it was a big deal on Overpass, but I think they can manage it a little bit better with those second rounds.
And you were talking before the game about how this lineup have been together for around, was it 10 months?
Yeah, something like that.
10 months. So what's next for this lineup, do you think, Eric?
It's a good question.
Yeah, no, it's...
Well, yeah, so do you think they can... They obviously, they were talking about wanting to play at a major for this. That's what their aim was. Sadly not there for them.
I think it's a possibility.
Do you think they can get there?
I think it's a possibility, absolutely. And again, I think now starts, you know, they've kind of hit that plateau, and oftentimes you'll either see teams just remain at that point until they fold, and some of them break through and become really, really, really strong teams. And that's kind of the hard grind that they have in front of them right now, where they have to, first off, adjust. And again, it comes with simple decisions and, you know, ideas of how to play the game. Again, just handling your economy better if you want to have focus on, or more of an op presence on your map. I'm not really sure how heavily they want to have Dead Fox involved in the game in the sense that they're going to focus on him getting an op each and every time. That might not be the correct answer, but it might be as well. So it's worth, you know, fiddling around with. But yeah, just to take a deeper look into stuff like that. And outside of that, it's just grinding and hoping for players themselves to actually develop and become stronger as we go along. Again, this series didn't really see too much of Stico. I think it's a very different game if he's actually playing to the same par as, for instance, Zero does. Bondig as well had a very lackluster Overpass. So when a lot of vital players on your side fall by the wayside during a series, it's going to be incredibly tough. And then you come back to the good old consistency, right, and being able to find that, because that's what makes a really good team over a long time, right?
Okay, great. Any final thoughts, Eric, or either of you? Any final thoughts before we jump into a break and then we go on and move on to our second semi-final?
No, excited to see Heroic finally being able to break the semi-finals curse, and hopefully they can come into the finals pressure-free and actually just continue on playing the way they have done. Yeah,
I think the HellRaisers T-sides are pretty good. I think they have a lot of really good flashes. I'm seeing like executes, practice stuff that you see they drill all the time. Some of their CT side setups are kind of questioning sometimes. They play like a double site on Inferno, which honestly I don't really like that. And one time they just like completely left the site and gave up porch side and were trying to retake from Arch. I don't know what happened that round, if it was like a communication error. And then their CT side setup on Overpass where they were like double in the bathroom. I think they can clean up some of their CT side setups that really, for me, I was questioning them and they just didn't pan out for them. So maybe a little look into that on their CT side, but just keep, you know, if they have the desire and dedication to keep that 5 going, then for sure do that.
Great, cool. Thank you very much, guys. So, Heroic are our first grand finalists. Very soon we go into our second semi-final. It's Envious versus Renegades. But first we will go to a short break. But before we do, I do want to chat to you a little bit about the Strafe esports app. The details are at the bottom of the screen here on how you can get that and find out more about that Strafe esports app. But briefly, it is an iOS and Android app that you can have on your mobile phone so that you can find out more about everything that is esports. If you have a favorite player, a favorite team, you want to find out what events they're going to be coming up to next and how they're doing at all of the tournaments that they're at currently, you can do that on there. We do have a short video to show you that will show you a little bit more in depth about that. So take a look.